So, what is the ahamiya and the importance of books when it comes to Islamic sciences? Islamic science, I would say, the reason I'm using the word Islamic science, because there is a difference between Islamic studies and Islamic science. Islamic studies is every universities have the Department of Islamic Studies, or in the West they call it as Oriental Studies. Okay, the study of the East. Since they are in the West, they say the story of the East. When it comes to Islamic studies, also they put it into the same category. So Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, whatever study of the East, they call it Oriental Studies. Within that, there is a department known as Islamic Studies. That Islamic Studies, they study on a particular thing about something. For example, talk about, they might be studying about Ghazali's Ahya Ulum ad-Din. Okay, or they will be talking about a tafsir of something. Okay, or they might be doing a research in a particular thing. That is the Department of Islamic Studies, and most of the time they throw light, or they take sources from Western scholarship. The opposite of that is Islamic studies, Islamic sciences, where you focus on ulum ad-din and the usul of the deen. The usul of the deen and the principle of the deen is talking about, number one, language need to have. So you need to have language, number one. You need to learn the Arabic language. Number two, the studies of the Quran al-Kareem. From the usul, from the principles of tafsir, and the ulum al-Quran, the sciences of the Quran, the ulum al-Hadith, or the mustalah al-Hadith, the sciences of Hadith, the usul of tafsir, the sciences of tafsir, usul al-fiqh, the principles where you derive the understanding of fiqh. All of these are known as Islamic sciences, where they talk about the ulum al-ali. Ulum al-ali means the tools which you require to derive a mas'ala. And this is where the traditional learning comes from. So here we are talking about the second category, that is the Islamic sciences. How do we study Islamic science, and what are the books we require? So when a person, for example, he's in a school or a college or whatever he is doing or she's doing, an idea comes across, something hits, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's tawfiq comes, and he or she is interested to learn the deen. So what is the number one source they have? They have the social media. They listen to different scholars, and they will have they can derive their own interest, and they will start developing an interest in studying those subjects. Then number two, they will go on to reading and buying books. Okay, so that is the second category. So you might be buying books in English, for example, the Sirah books of Arhiq al-Makhtoum, or Aqidah books like Usul al-Thalatha, Kitab al-Tawheed. Be buying some books on Usul al-Hadith, sciences of Hadith. You might be buying books on Arba'in al-Nawawiyya, the 40 Hadith of Nawawi, or explanation of Bukhari. Slowly, you start accumulating, or Riyadh al-Salihin of Imam al-Nawawi. You start accumulating and making a small library, and you might be studying, and you might be exploring those books. That's how you start. Yani, you start with a scratch level, and you start it. Sometimes I would call it a disoriented way of studying. You see, so what is the actual way we can develop in order to study? Okay, so there are some books, inshallah, if there are explanations also in the English language. That's the reason I bought these, because most of the books which I'll be talking about today is Arabic books, but you need to know these books because these are classical sources. And the classical sources are those books which you need, everybody needs to understand the ulum of the deen. They need to have these classical sources.